we are encountering Nosferatu. It's Willem Dafoe.
That's Willem Dafoe. Okay, I had Nick Holt written all over it, I thought. All right, everyone. We are back for Robert Eggers' Nosferatu.
That's right. This is our third Robert Eggers movie.
Yep.
Fourth of his filmography.
Right.
His first movie being...
The Witch.
Correct. His second movie.
The Lighthouse.
His third movie.
The Northman.
And his fourth movie.
Nosferatu. It's a real nice, eclectic filmography this man's building.
Definitely. And do you think... maybe we can get into that later. Nosferatu, directed by Robert Eggers, starring...
What a cast. Nicholas Hoult.
ATJ, as we like to call him.
Bill Skarsgård.
Lily Rose Depp.
Is that Johnny Depp? Is
Johnny
there anything
Depp's
there?
daughter, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of the Idol fame.
Emma Corrin.
Yeah, from Deadpool Wolverine.
Right.
And did you say Willem Dafoe already?
I don't think so.
Willem Dafoe.
And Ralph Ineson, soon to be Galactus in Fantastic Four First Steps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad.
You recognize his face. He's got like a...
I did. When I was going through the cast, I saw the face. I was like,
There's no point.
Can't wait to pronounce the name.
You didn't know that Galactus plug was coming, did you?
I didn't. I wish I had it. Really quickly here, we're just post-Christmas. Want to do quick side reviews or what you've seen.
Yep.
We last met on the 17th, so go for it.
I've been crushing.
Me too.
Are we going back and forth?
Let's go back and forth.
Some of these I'd seen bits of, but I watched all these for the first time, like where I feel like they're on my resume. I can be like, yeah, I saw that because I sat and watched it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The Holiday.
I have seen it. Didn't watch it this year.
So good.
It's kind of long.
It's long. It's like 220.
Yeah, I know.
But it's fucking good. I was just bawling my eyes out by the end.
Of course you were.
Okay, go.
Carry On.
Yeah. Who didn't watch
fucking
Carry On?
Loved it. There's always that
such a fucking Netflix movie.
Yeah, there's always that Netflix movie that dominates the holidays. I think we had Glass Onion like 2 years ago. This one is the talk of Boxing Day.
Yeah, it was just number one all over.
It's fucking good, man. Bateman's unreal.
Okay. Yeah, Bateman's good.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't quite as like ingeniously clever as I was hoping in terms of like
enough.
They didn't really use the concept all that much. Couldn't stand how the guy who he was working like right next to couldn't hear anything he was saying. But aside from that, it's like little things like that. But what do you expect?
That's fair.
Raging Bull, saw it for the first time.
Really?
Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci.
Yeah,
excellent. Yeah, really, really good.
Well, you love your boxing films, right?
I do, but this is about the male insecurity. I didn't actually know it was about.
Isn't that what all boxing films are about?
Yeah, but it's like he's like deeply insecure. There's like a lot of like sexual abuse themes.
Okay.
Kind of a tough watch in that sense, but worth watching.
Nice. I watched Clint Eastwood's final film, Juror Number 2. Yeah. I'm on my Nicholas Hoult kick.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
You're saying it might be his final movie?
It is his final, apparently. But it's like good acting, plot's kind of mad, really cool concept, but I thought he could have maybe handled it a bit differently.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I did National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, love it. It's a classic.
It was good. It was good.
I did Red One.
Oh, God.
I was very excited to watch this. Pretty run-of-the-mill action flick. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of fucking Hobbs vs. Shaw.
Really? Is it?
But it's
supposed to be more of like a family comedy, right? Or is it?
It's more of an action, to be honest. It's got a shit Christmas skin on it, so it's a reskinned action movie with a Christmas spin on it. Not really a Christmas classic in any way, shape, or form.
Won't really go down in history.
No.
One that I did watch that I think will go down as a Christmas classic, and it was just absolutely outstanding, was Klaus.
I knew you were gonna say Klaus. How good, hey?
Yeah,
did
so
you cry?
Good. Didn't quite cry, but easily could have on another day.
One of the better Christmas movies of all time.
Bit of a slow start.
Yeah.
I was like it was like the person I was watching with like really hyped it up. It was like the best Christmas movie ever made. And we were kind of like first half hour, I was like, but then all of a sudden I'm just like, fuck, this movie's so clever.
It's so clever.
How it weaves in all the Christmas traditions. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. I did a rewatch of The Night Before. I think that movie does not get enough credit.
It's good.
It was one of the second, I think it was like near the tail end of that run, because it ended with the interview.
I think it was like the last. No, this came after the interview.
Did it come after?
Yeah,
dude, it's fucking funny. It's got great Christmas magic.
Yeah,
great humor. The jokes still hold up. It's got heart, and I think it's a Christmas classic.
Yeah,
I think you should revisit it maybe once every 2 years.
I agree. It's a really excellent movie. I did Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers.
Yeah, you told me about Meet the Parents. You didn't tell me about Meet the Fockers.
I followed it. I did Little Fockers as well, but I'd already seen that one.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I've done the whole Fockers trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, they're nothing incredible, but I thoroughly enjoyed watching them.
That's good. I just have a slew of Hallmark Christmas movies that I'm not going to name by name.
Sure. And then I got one little curveball that you didn't see coming. Moana 2.
No! I thought you were about to say Mufasa. I was going to lose my fucking mind.
No, Moana 2 in theaters.
Better than the first?
It's not better than the first.
No.
I know it's getting some hate, but I found it a fun, adorable watch. The kids were loving it in the theater.
That's good.
A little bit of applause by the end. Some sad scenes. Beautiful animation.
Songs aren't as good. Is what I've heard.
Songs are good though.
Okay.
Like I was bobbing. The feet was twiddling for sure.
That's good. All right, let's hop back into Nosferatu. I got some fast questions for you. A bit hard to do some prep, but anyone other than Bill Skarsgård gonna hang dong in this movie?
Yeah, that's been the talk of the town. This prosthetic.
This prosthetic dick, dude.
That Nicholas Hoult now has at home, apparently, which is funny. No, I think you'll probably see some breasts.
Yeah.
Probably some Emma Corrin.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
gonna go with.
She's just picking names.
Yeah. I don't think Daph's ready to.
She was like pretty much nude in every episode of her. She was in the HBO show with The Weeknd, The Idol. Have you not heard of it?
Yeah.
It was like super like sexually
never mind.
graphic and stuff.
Maybe
like,
her instead. When you got Johnny Depp as a dad, that can twist you up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Second question.
Yep.
If you had to pick one person to die in this movie, Nicholas Hoult or ATJ?
ATJ.
Yeah.
I think he gets a gruesome death.
You think we'll get some ATJ? Yeah, that's why I wrote down gruesome or gnarly death. You think we'll get ATJ range in this movie?
No, it doesn't exist.
We famously just call he's just a hunk.
He's just a hunk who, has decent acting chops. But he'll never be like someone that a household person will just like know. Oh, that's Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like he's a movie lover's hunky kind of guy.
Yeah, you just toss him in when you need some muscle in your film.
Yep, exactly.
Kind of like Gaston almost.
Yeah, you could be Gaston if they do another.
A remake.
Who was Gaston in the remake?
It was like some nobody, wasn't it?
No, it was like Luke Evans.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Speaking of Luke Evans.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dracula Untold.
Little segment for you here. You got 45 seconds on the clock. Give me all the Dracula movies starting now.
Bram Stoker's Dracula. You've got. I'm already dying here. You've got Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
You've got. There's like the 1972 one. That's just Dracula as well.
I would call that Bram Stoker's.
Okay. You've got the original Nosferatu, like 1917.
Correct.
You've got Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, fuck. That's a pull.
1, 2, and 3.
I'll give it to you.
You've got Interview with a Vampire.
Okay, sure.
I don't think that's a Dracula. You got Twilight.
Yeah, I'll count it.
Yeah.
5 seconds left.
Let's see if I can pull one more out of my ass here. I want to say The Mummy, but obviously, yeah.
That's pretty good, man. You got 8. What I had listed, that I had known the question, I had Renfield.
Oh, fuck. I should have got that.
Van Helsing.
I was going to say that, but I didn't think you'd allow it.
I don't know.
Because it's like Van Helsing's movie.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Dracula Untold. And The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, there's been a lot. A lot of these movies.
So to segue, do you think we're getting like a classic horror monster revival phase? Because we got the Wolfman coming out next month.
Yeah, we do. And then you got Clayface, which is supposed to be like inspired by these movies.
And we got like I think Swamp Thing is coming out.
Who cares? I think that's actually what I was thinking of when I said that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. Like I think this has been tried to have been done before. Like we had the Benicio del Toro Wolfman, like not even that long ago.
Oh yeah, we got fucking Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein's coming out.
Is it really?
Yeah. GDT, baby.
So maybe. It's just like, I don't see the hunger and the desire from the general public. It seems like more like the filmmakers love these movies because they grew up watching them. So they keep trying to like make them popular.
That's so true.
But it's just not really happening.
Fuck, that's funny.
But yeah, it's not the first attempt, but it's this I'm very excited to see because famously this is the movie that Robert Eggers has like always wanted to do.
Okay.
So I was reading an interview with him and prep for this, and he was basically saying once he did the Witch, he basically was offered the chance to do this, and he's like, as a second-time filmmaker, he's like, I think that would have just been like an insult. Like he's basically saying he wasn't ready to take on this title because this is like kind of what he sees as like his magnum opus, the movie he's always wanted to make.
Yeah.
So he chose to like wait until he was a little bit more established and got the budget that he kind of wanted.
Okay.
So he ended up doing those other 2 movies in between.
Yeah.
So he's like, I've been wanting to do this movie since I was a teenager. And do you know that there's 2 actors that were apparently in serious discussions for the lead role?
Is Bill Skarsgård the lead role?
They're both older. I'll give you that. And one is just like, yeah, you'd kind of think you definitely would. You
can't say Bill Skarsgård in the same breath without saying Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, no, both older men.
I don't know.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh fuck!
And the one that really blew my mind was Daniel Day-Lewis.
He wanted to come back for this.
He's played him before.
No, I'm saying like he's retired.
Yeah, no, but I said he had discussions with Robert Eggers over coming in for this movie. That's how much clout I think Eggers has in. I
was gonna ask you, do you think the Northman kind of sullied his rep a little bit?
I mean, I think
people did seem to love it.
I think it was a success as well. So I didn't love it.
Yeah, I was kind of mixed on it. I thought it had some cool scenes, but it wasn't like this like tale of revenge that I really got.
And I've actually seen it twice.
Okay,
it's got a 90% Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, people did seem to love it.
Oh no, it was not a box office success. It cost between 70 and 90, and it made 69. But they've come back. They've given him a slightly smaller budget this time, so he's got 50 mil.
That's why he can't afford color.
Yeah, that's why he had to go for Nicholas Hoult.
Hey, come on!
And the other actor who was briefly attached in ATJ's role was Harry Styles.
Really?
Yeah, I bet he was gagging for this movie. Is there any update from Robert? No, he's gone with ATJ.
I have the range, Alice!
So yeah, no, this is exciting. We're looking at an 87 right now on RT.
Okay.
We're looking at a 7.9 IMDb, which is like
high,
the most like scrutinized kind of thing. 2 hour 12 minutes. That's nice and clean. That's exactly what you want.
For some reason I was gonna be like 2:45. I was fucking gritting my teeth.
All shot in Prague.
Okay.
Pre-production's been ongoing since 2015.
Do you think this movie? Sorry, do you have more facts?
And that's everything I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I just unloaded it all.
Do you think this movie is gonna be like extremely scary, or do you think it's just more like a atmospheric?
Yeah, I think you're looking at eerie. I don't really think you're looking at any jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he really does that. I think you're looking at some like grotesque imagery and some like really creepy, dark, in the shadows kind of visuals.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like based on what I've seen, like probably some like sexual violence.
It seems very sexually driven.
Yes, I think this movie's all about sex.
Do you think we're gonna get a Nosferatu reveal pretty quickly, or do you think we're gonna get Robert Eggers?
Yeah, nice. No, I think you're looking at over an hour before you see him, because I think we'll see. I think the opening scene will be him as like Count Orlok or whatever this character's name is.
Oh, I don't even know anything about the lore. Dude.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, he originally was a count, and then he becomes Nosferatu. So I think we kind of see that play out.
You think he's gonna turn into a bat? The fucking Nosferatu heads are losing their
mind. I don't know.
Right
I'm just you suggesting this is making me very excited for this movie, because how does Robert Eggers do that scene? Because he doesn't do like a ton of CGI and stuff, right? No. Like he's more like
maybe it's
cool,
like
practical.
Body horror. Like, like sprouts wings.
Yeah,
head gets really small,
and then pops and explodes, and a little bat larvae head kind of grows in place of it. That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. What are you kind of expecting? Like, obviously, so like you're not super familiar with the plot, so it's like, what do you kind of imagine?
Is vampire, and I think he's obsessed with Lily Rose Depp, right? And he's got some goofy ass eyes and some long fingers.
Have you seen? I haven't seen his face or anything.
I've seen his face in the OG.
Oh, okay, but not in this new one.
Not in this new one. No.
Oh, because that's like there's like a famous when he pops up in SpongeBob. And,
He's very like he was scary for the time, and now he's very unscary. And I bet you he's gonna be real fucking scary.
Because I think they've got Bill Skarsgård's kind of perfect for this because he's tall, he's physically imposing. Yeah. I think our Nosferatu's supposed to be like 8 feet tall.
Okay. I
think we'll get some like gross. What I think.
Do you think he speaks?
Yeah.
But your run-in with Nosferatu's been a SpongeBob episode. Yeah. We're such fucking hacks.
I know. Fake film buffs. Never seen a single one of the originals. But I would like to think that there's going to be a scene where whoever he was before, he's basically having a dinner party of some sort, and he ends up getting like betrayed by the people, and he gets like nailed in a coffin, like while he's still alive.
Okay.
And I think he gets buried alive. And then I think somehow like maybe the bat gets into the coffin or
some
something.
like dark magic kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's like that sort of Beauty and the Beast angle where he's like very bitter, hates humankind for like the way he was treated. So he's like living as a recluse in this castle.
Do you think we'll get like, so the lighthouse is famously
what was that crazy snipe you got in the lighthouse? Or was it me? There was some...
You had a snipe.
Yeah.
You said there's gonna be a jerk off scene or something like
that. Well, it's like, what's your audacious just like...
Well, I was gonna say, like, the lighthouse is very artsy with no plot structure, right? The Northman is very structured.
Yeah.
Do you think we're gonna finish this movie and have to hit like a YouTube explain video, or do you think everything you get is everything you get?
I think it's everything you get, everything you get. I think there'll be some like weird, like in between scenes, you'll get some like
some nice religious
symbolism
allegory,
shot of like a coin or something, and you're just like, I don't really get that. And you say you're gonna look it up, and you never do, and it just kind of lives.
I don't really get that.
Yeah, like some bird stuff, some stream. Do you think we see any color? Any surprise color?
No color. Is it 4x3? You joked about that
I don't know.
episode.
I think we do get like very. I think we might get chapters.
Maybe the blood is in red.
Okay,
chapters.
That's never been done before. Chapters.
Okay, Frank Miller.
Yeah.
Chapters. Yes, chapters.
With like old gritty like
Roman
film.
numerals.
Yeah. Yeah, gothic text.
We're just fucking making a mockery of this
Quotes
film
from
now.
the Bible. Temptation is thy
to be unreleased
fastest
for
route to death. Oh my god. I do think there's like a long build up to the first kill, and then when you get your first kill, it's gonna be like wooden stake to the trachea that just like is very grotesque.
Yeah, I think we'll get like holy water.
Yeah,
I think we'll get a priest scene who's like kind of reciting verses and just gets like murked or something.
I think we'll get a very shrill, unnerving score. Because sometimes the score is the scariest part of these movies. The sort of like slightly off tone, like sharp horns, like that could be. Yeah. I think we can expect some of that.
I wonder if I'm gonna be doing the whole like plug my ears, peer through my eyes thing.
I don't think so. I'd be really surprised, but it'd be cool. It'd be really cool. Yeah. Is it 18A or 14A?
14A in Canada. I think that lends itself to still R in the US. Though.
Right. Because like normally I would expect a film like this to be a pretty small cast and like a pretty sort of bottle story, but it is quite an ensemble. Like you've got quite a number of big actors here. Do you think we're looking at like local villagers, or like do you think there's any sort of Van Helsing connection? I don't know if that's ignorant to say. I don't know how any of this stuff works. Any hints at other monsters? Could we be looking at?
No, I think this is a purist film. Yeah. I think you're gonna get like your 5 characters, right, and that's it. You probably get like a someone's pleading with the villagers scene, but there's not gonna be many.
You think you get like a large set piece in terms of like him coming to the village and killing a bunch of people, or do you think it's mostly like in a castle?
Fuck, I think it's mostly in a castle, but I like that. I like where your head's at with that. Like that'd be interesting. It's
not third act, like village attack.
Not what I'm expecting at all.
Yeah.
Very grounded, small scale castle corridors, torches. Yeah.
So do you think that there's a place for this? Like, do you think this movie needs to be made, or do you think that we could just be asking Robert Eggers to lean more on his like original stories as opposed to adapting something trodden?
That's a great question. Mm-hmm. Hollywood can't do anything original anymore. I mean, fuck, it's been what, over 100 years? You said 1917,
something like that.
I want to look that up. Yeah. You know what? I don't know. I've never seen the original, and I think for me at least, this is a great way for me to kind of get into what can only be heralded as a film classic.
1922.
All right, so still 100 years. You're still all right.
Nosferatu's A Symphony of Horror, and there's the face for you.
This fucking guy.
Nosferatu.
I think I welcome it. I think I welcome this as a remake. And I think when it's handled like this, and it's not like a cheap, like the Ben-Hur remake with Morgan Freeman, like that right. You just know that's going to be trash, right?
Yes. Or the Psycho like remake with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, exactly. Something like this is going to be, I think, paying great homage to the original, and it's definitely going to allow others to experience it when they may not have watched a movie from 1922.
Yeah, because like as much as I love film, like I really struggle to go back that far. Yeah, unless it's like a purely academic exercise or like watching a clip. It's like it's hard to it's hard to get engaged. So if this could give me some of like what I would have got from watching those movies, but keep me a bit entertained with like a nice like modern face
100%
that I can relate to.
There we go.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
That's well said.
So yeah, I'm just double checking this here. So this is the fourth notable Nosferatu film. There was Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror, 1922. Nosferatu the Vampire, which was famously directed by,
I don't fucking know.
You do, very famous German filmmaker.
Oh, what's his face? The guy.
Werner Herzog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did a remake in 1979. It paid homage to the original while incorporating his unique, distinct cinematic style. Klaus Kinski stars as Count Dracula. The film is noted for its atmospheric tension. Then you had Shadow of the Vampire in 2002. 2000, played by Willem Dafoe.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting. And then, yeah, this one.
I think I was not very excited before you got here. But
Yeah.
now, as always, as this podcast goes, give me 20 minutes of just chatting about it. I'm pretty hyped now.
100%. Yeah, like you said, this one is a bit harder to predict, but I think we're going to have a little bit more on the back end to discuss.
For sure. I do have one more side review I forgot to mention.
Okay.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't. Hugh Grant's Heretic.
Oh, I still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I really want
Surprised
to.
you haven't.
I know.
Surprised you haven't.
I like hovered over it on the rentals. It's still like $20 to rent.
Yeah, I watched it illegally.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. But I will watch it soon.
Yeah,
but,
it's right up your alley.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I love Hugh Grant.
I know you do.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's great, yeah.
Best movie of the year?
His best movie or my best movie of the
Yeah.
year? No. Actually, fuck. No, we'll say that for the post. We'll do
Yeah.
best movies of the year. In the
Oh,
post.
yeah, we should. Bit of a year-end wrap. That'll
Yeah,
be fun.
exactly.
All right. Well, let's go see this movie. We're running a bit late here,
Yeah.
so we better
We'll
get
see
on
you
it.
back here in 3,
2,
1.
Snops?
Oh, it's schnapps.
No, he said schnop. He said snops or snaps.
Schnapps?
Schnapps? Yeah.
That's the line you want to open with?
That's the most.
We are neighbors, Antony. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, we are back from Nosferatu. Okay.
Now we're fucking warming
And we
up.
got Bill Skarsgård joining us for the post.
Peter Skarsgård, actually. I think it was Peter.
It was Bill. How could you possibly ever make that mistake? Like,
I swear I looked at the billing and it was
no,
Peter.
It's Bill.
Which one's Peter?
No one gives a fuck about Peter. We only care about Alexander, Bill, and Stellan.
Alexander's sick. We all
he's
know
dope.
he's the sickest one.
He's dope.
And Stellan, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's Peter Skarsgård.
It's Bill. I literally just
Okay.
double-checked.
Okay, that's
This is
fucking
actually quite
embarrassing.
Yeah. Bill Skarsgård famously voiced what other horror creature?
I don't know. No, Pennywise. He
Pennywise.
didn't voice him. He was Pennywise.
That's not what I said?
You said. No, you said voiced.
Oh no! Oh no!
Dear me.
We're making a fucking meal out of this movie now.
All right. Moving on. Should we do the entire thing like this? Yeah, the long S's. All right. Enough funny business. It's late again. It's raining again.
You're 30 minutes from home again.
Yeah. Shit sleep for the sake of this podcast again. All right. So anyway, you don't need to hear about all this. Let's talk Nosferatu.
Okay.
We were with a group of friends who were all mouthing off about how they felt, and I got kind of sucked into it, and you heard a little bit about what I thought, which I know is against our sacred vow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to apologize to the integrity of the podcast.
Appreciate
Secondly, I'd like to hear your thoughts first.
Okay. I thought that this movie was just okay. And hear me out here, because there's a lot of nuance to that.
Mm-hmm.
I think from a technical standpoint, it's incredible. The shots, the way the camera was framed, the close-up.
Lots of care and attention behind
yeah.
every frame and composition.
Yes, composition. There we go. The shot composition was incredible. The
sound design was really good.
The clothing, the setting, like the gothic German feel was all there. The design of Nosferatu, like that was...
I gotta, yeah, I'm letting you go, but I've agreed with everything you've said, but I was really, one of the few things I was let down by was just the design and the look of Nosferatu.
Okay.
I thought that, and maybe this is just my like Hollywood training, but like the first time, or the modern Hollywood like B-movie training, but like when I first saw him, I was like, okay, like he looks fine right now, kind of creepy.
And then he's gonna turn.
I thought he was gonna get more severe, more worn down, and more disgusting and terrifying.
He kind of does at the end.
He looked like Dr. Robotnik.
With the mustache.
Yeah, the mustache was not good.
Okay.
It made him a lot less. He looked too human, I thought.
Yes.
Which compared to even when you look at that famous screen grab of the original,
yeah,
like I thought that was actually looked better.
Kind of scarier.
Yeah, like scarier and like more devilish. And they kept talking about like devil, demonic, but he didn't really look that demonic, which was very bizarre to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, continue.
Continuing on, I thought the acting was great. Like to shout out Bill Skarsgård, Willem Dafoe, and I'm
gonna fucking do it. ATJ gets a shout out.
I had a tough time. And this is probably our fault. Every time I saw him, all I kept thinking was punk. This guy's just a hunk.
Yeah, all I can think of was his craven face.
This guy's a fucking. This guy can't act. He's a fucking hunk.
No, he can act.
And Nicholas Hoult is having like an incredible 300.
Was it just me, or is he kind of one note in his performance?
He's got Juror Number 2. He's got this. He's got Superman Legacy. Like,
yeah, I'm not denying he's got some good movies coming up, but it's just give me something, Nick. Like I know I've seen him do it before.
Yeah.
But it's just maybe it was the script, but he's nervous, like that nervous, fake, fluttery energy all the time. It's like
he does have a lot of fake.
Stop doing energy. Fake, nervous, like definitely.
That's my wife.
Yeah, it's just a bit too much of that. And like, let it go. Like
Lily Rose Depp was good.
She was really good.
Kind of like, it's like the moaning was like kind of awkward.
But in a good way. I think that was very much what Robert Eggers wanted.
I was extremely uncomfortable in that opening scene.
Because it's like pain. It's like pain and like yearn and a bit pleasury.
Yeah.
And that I really liked.
Yeah.
But the audience weren't sure whether they were supposed to laugh or like be scared, and I feel like
a little turned on.
Yeah. But I felt like everyone was trying to respect the movie, so 100%. they were like, I don't want to just laugh at it and have it be like a stupid let's laugh at everything that happens. But it was kind of almost egging you on to do that a little bit.
Yeah, it was trying to Robert egg you on.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have all these components, right?
Yes.
And
all these competent components.
And you're like, you just think you put these all together and you think you get a great movie, but it just wasn't the case. I felt.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, man. Like
I agree. I can't quite put my finger on it. It never clicked into gear.
Yeah.
And it felt very.
It felt very one note the entire way. Like I'm reading online, there's some discourse. Like there was supposed to be a great scene when Nicholas Hoult first arrives at the castle.
Yeah,
like
you're getting onto my biggest complaint of the whole movie. Maybe you're gonna say the same thing.
And I was just like, I never felt a sense of dread for him.
Yes,
because like I was like, this guy could die, and I'm like kind of expecting him to die. So I'm like, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, and they almost played it more for jokes.
Yeah,
that first scene
exactly,
which was really surprising to me. But I was really into it. So yeah, I tell a lie. I was actually really into it at the very beginning. I thought the inciting incident was great. Him talking to his boss.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I get it all. I get what's going on. He gets there. His voyage. I'm like, hey, nice journey scene. Mm-hmm. But then it felt so disjointed when he like ran into these random villagers.
Yeah.
And like stayed there. And then he woke, and then he was just in the castle. He was dreaming his way into the castle.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's part of Nosferatu's power, almost his lore, is he kind of like
possesses you.
Yeah, and you kind of trance your way to him. But I felt like we lost so much tension building throughout all that. And then you're right, he's there, and they have one conversation, and then he's got a bite.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's like back home, or like.
He's there for a little bit.
You cut back to him every now and then, but it's like it's so short. And I thought the movie was going to be about him having to like be imprisoned in this castle and like sneaking around, learning what's going on. Like
yeah.
And it focused so much more on just like back in the village of the people worrying about where he was.
Yeah.
And that to me, maybe that's just the way the story goes, and he wasn't willing to like. Take it in his own direction.
Yeah.
Because I imagine this is a very faithful adaptation.
Yeah.
It felt faithful.
I just felt like.
But it chose to emphasize so many minor things and glossed over like what I think would have been the real meat and bones of the movie.
like I've been watching movies before where the tension is so high, and I'm thinking for myself, for the main character, I'm like, buddy, you got to get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, this movie was totally tensionless.
Yes,
and
that's I think it's not supposed to be that. I think it's supposed to be some tension,
Yeah.
but like it was totally one beat the entire way. Like the audience is never left guessing what's gonna happen next. Like it's so like you're
it told you exactly what was happening
the scene
as it
before.
happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, now we're gonna do this. Okay, now we're gonna go to this.
Yeah.
Okay, now we need to go do this. And it's just like, all right.
The whole movie, it descended into all the primary cast just sort of like sitting in rooms like talking about what was going to happen instead of actually like action, like movement of the story. It was very dialogue driven.
Yeah.
But the dialogue wasn't that engaging or interesting.
And it wasn't like mysterious enough. There's no mystery around it. And like
there was no subtext. It was like people were saying exactly like what was happening. Like
exactly.
It's not this. It's got to be this. Like we got to go talk to another scientist. Like and everything's good. Like everything you're watching is good.
There's like a scene where Willem Dafoe's like must return to the soil before the first cocks grow, and then the other doctor goes, he has to return to his coffin in the morning.
Yeah.
Like before dawn. I was like, dude, like you didn't need that translation.
But it never explained like how he like figured that out or like
he like read in a book of like old English or something. But like either way, like that
it was pretty boring in multiple scenes where like because like if you love film, like you're gonna find I had to like really work to look for things to enjoy. I'm like, hey, like I do really like the way this shot's lit. But when you're watching like a great movie that's got your attention, like that stuff's all happening in the background.
Yeah.
But like I was kind of being forced to like and like I was thinking like more than I would like.
Technical marvel. There were some like really good shots. There was one I want to highlight.
The shadow work was excellent. But like you kind of expect that. Like that's kind of this is your fourth movie now, Robert.
Yeah,
you're not just gonna get me with a cheeky shadow shot. You need to like have me on the edge
hand
of my seat.
Over the city, like we saw it in the trailer.
Yeah, because that could have just been the trailer. That would have been a great teaser, just that one shot.
Yeah,
but it's like that still was one of the better shots in the whole movie.
There was a really good shot when Nicholas Hoult tries to stab the body at the beginning in the first act. Nosferatu catches him and then is sucking his blood, but like. It's almost like
the blood sucking was quite
it's like sexual in the manner where like it bites him in the chest and he was like kind of thrusting at the same time. Like it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's definitely a scene that's gonna be like kind of burned in my head for a little bit.
Yeah, that was a good scene, and like the sound design again, like the slurping of the blood was like really off-putting.
What about like thoughts on ATJ's character arc?
That was really weak because
but at the end he's like he had sex with his dead wife.
Yeah, and then he just died.
He died of the
plague. And it showed that he had like the teeth. Like, did you see that? Did you notice that?
I was staring at his like hives.
Yeah, but as he was doing that, he was grieving. I could tell he was trying to show his mouth, and he had like vampire teeth.
Really?
Yeah, I swear I'm not making this up. He had fucking vampire teeth.
I don't know.
And I was like, oh, he's gonna be like
spit off.
We have to Dracula Untold. A little bit of a Craven crossover, perhaps. But no, I thought he was gonna then be like a physical force they had to like fight or something.
You're not getting any of that.
And it kind of my big village showdown prediction. Yeah. Kind of tease it every now and again. I'm like, oh, here's a big city.
Yeah.
And then nothing happened. It was just like
off
screensaver shots. Yeah.
The scene
back
where,
to a house.
They're walking back. Like ATJ kicks him out of the house, so they're like walking down the street, and you see like the streets are in disarray. And there's a shot. There's like a dead body. There's supposed to be like dogs playing apart, but I shit you not, it's two fucking just puppies, just like playing around.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's cheap.
And like when he's like, oh, the plague is coming. Like I thought they were gonna delve into that more. Yeah. And there's that great shot again where all the rats pour off the boat, and I was like, we're gonna see this city like decaying now.
Yeah.
In the action, and it's gonna be chaos all around. But it was just more spoken about.
It wasn't about that. Yeah, it was more. It felt like a novel.
I thought he was like consuming this like town, more and more until the point where he just like sunk it all into darkness. But like that, none of that really ever transpired.
Yeah, that kind of sounds a bit Hollywoody though.
Yeah, but it could have, like you're saying, it could have been more of like the backdrop of like the drama.
Yeah. That would have created tension too. A little bit of like things are like,
and just a feeling of
3 nights, but like
that never really.
Yeah, they were just kind of the
all
same.
All of a sudden, he was
night.
like, "Oh, it's the third night." I was like, "Oh, I thought we were still on the first night." Yeah, and
we got some nice Demeter scenes.
Yeah,
shout out to the Demeter.
The timeline of that was really confusing because he was in the place and Nick Hoult went there by horse. But then he came to them by boat.
Or got there slower by boat. Yeah, it was a bit...
silly.
No, maybe
That's
he
silly.
had to sail around some horn or something like
Well,
that.
then why wouldn't Nick Holt go on by boat? Why would he just ride a horse with no carriage? Like, he had no suitcase. He had nothing.
No, because maybe the horseway was quicker.
I guess.
But Dracula needed to transport the coffin.
Yeah, it just felt very like shoehorned in, and there was no real.
I actually could have done without the Demeter scenes, which is crazy for me to say.
Because that's a whole different vibe, a whole different. That's a boat.
The fact that we went there twice, and I was like, oh,
and nothing happened both times. It just like showed you the coffin. It was boring.
There was a kill. There was a kill in the Demeter.
Was there?
Yeah, when the guy's like, I'm gonna, and he opens up the coffin, and then Dracula's behind him.
And it just cut though.
Yeah. It was a little boring.
I thought the accent was not amazing either.
From Bill?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I wouldn't mind. I would love to see a nom for Bill from this.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
There's nothing wrong with the accent. I thought it was out of place in this movie, in this like very serious movie. It was a little too Adam Sandler for me. Or it felt like he was like intentionally rolling like every single R, and like, I don't know. You couldn't understand him quite a bit of the time as well.
Sometimes I couldn't understand him. Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of the point. But just so little time spent in the manor and the castle, because that was really scary. Like when the camera took us in that first person perspective, like through the gates, I was like kind of wincing. I was like, oh, I don't want to go in this like horrible place. Mm-hmm. But you never get any sense of the geography or like the layout or anything.
Yeah. But I think that was kind of intended.
Yeah.
But I didn't like it. I agree with you. Like, I really bothered me. Like,
it was just too much of the village. I got so bored of the sets. It was like the same sets.
What could Nosferatu do and what couldn't he do? I was like, maybe I'm not supposed to know, but I really wish that was fleshed out so I could be like, it just felt like whenever nightfall, like you get like a sequence and a face would pop up, cheap scares.
And it's just like, why does he need Nick Holt to come to him to like sell him this property if he's already got so much power over his wife, and the whole connection with the wife didn't really make a whole lot of sense.
He needed Nick Holt to
why wouldn't she tell him about it? Like, why wasn't she more suspicious when a mysterious like man had requested him to come? And
yeah, I mean,
it's one of those things like I
don't like getting into like character logic, because like at the end of the day, like it has to be an adaptation of some sort, right?
Yeah, and I am curious. I would like to go back and watch like the original, or at least maybe the Werner Herzog one, and then maybe the 1922 one, just to see how similar it is.
Yeah,
but I thought it was quite weak. I think it's actually it's probably his weakest movie, I would say.
Worse than The Northman, huh?
I think The Northman was like a bit more entertaining than this. And it felt more like...
I've actually never seen The Witch, but...
The Witch is really good. The Witch is really good.
The Lighthouse is also fucking good, too.
I think The Lighthouse is his best, then The Witch, then maybe this and Northman are like very close. But that's a bit of a disappointment in itself.
But critically speaking, he's 4 for 4, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, the critics love him.
And I think the theater was having a good time. It was hard to read because it was packed house.
Some people were like, they were kind of like giggling as we were leaving.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were laughing at like...
I heard lots of different things. When we were leaving, I heard there was one couple that were talking, and they had seen the original, and they were like, oh, like they paid homage to the... like that shot was exactly the same. Like they were like really stoked about that. Yeah. So I'm happy for that. Let's talk about the scares, because that's why a lot of people are going to be in this theater, because they don't know really anything. They might not even know what Nosferatu is, like horror movie,
horror vampire movie.
Yeah, exactly. If you were one of those audiences, what do you think would you be satisfied? Because I was wrong about jump scares. There's quite a few jump scares, about 4, I think I counted.
I think I would be a little bit disappointed, and I'll tell you why. Because a great horror movie drives the tension up and leads you to a certain moment. It does a little fake out, but it's all about that tension driving. So you like think of a haunted house movie where the house is haunted, you get that haunting scene. Mm-hmm. It's like a 15-minute long scene where the characters walking around, shit's happening, right?
Couple fake outs,
and like you could do that with Nosferatu, and like he's a night demon, so you're in his castle. You can do some fake outs, but like the wandering around that Nicholas Hoult does, for example, goes for like 10 seconds.
The wandering around.
Yeah, he's a little bit suspicious. 10 seconds, find something, boom, something happens then. It's like, oh, like, I never really had a chance to really settle in and get scared. The only time I got scared were these cheap jump scares.
And I counted 2, but I think it might have been 3. 2 for sure, of the exact same type of jump scare. It was like the person dreaming or thinking, and it goes really quiet, and then just... like super loud.
There's a face change.
About 2 frames of his face with blood pouring out of it. And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
There was no tension building from my perspective in this movie, and I think that's probably its greatest flaw. I'm just reading the Reddit thread here, and people are kind of echoing half of what we're saying. They're loving the sound design, they're loving the shots, the composition, the setting, the acting, but no one's really talking about like the plot and the story and how
the story was just not
the viewer's
there.
journey throughout this movie. Like it's very one-dimensional. It's very one beat. Like it looks great. Like we said, the shot composition is incredible. The acting is great. But at the end of the day, like you as a viewer, like I want to be entertained at least. I want to be thinking about it, and I never got that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I especially think like you wait a long time for Willem Dafoe's character to come into the fray, and he's just sort of. It was very bizarre to me that you had the Ralph, what's his name? Ralph Innes or something like that.
Innocent?
Yeah, you have him who's sort of the doctor, and then he just sort of upgrades to another doctor character.
An occult doctor.
Yeah, and they just kind of, they both serve the same purpose in the movie. I didn't really see why we needed, I guess, again, just because we're being faithful to this like adaptation.
I see, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we're bringing in the more extreme version.
Yeah,
But he never really did anything that much more extreme. I like his first diagnose scene when he's like feeling her blood.
Yeah.
And he's talking.
He's like, no more sedative. Like you gotta let her fucking.
Yeah.
There's a good possession scene.
Yeah.
But again, like,
and she's great at acting possessed.
Yeah.
She was called on quite a few times to like
weird limb movements. And stuff.
No special effects, and she really had to sell it, and she did a really good job. But like, yeah, just the whole escalation things. I feel like they would set up a thread and then just kind of abandon it. Mm-hmm. And it was like, even when he said like, let her rave. Yeah. You never really saw that happen.
Let's come back and do another possession.
Yeah.
Let's get Nosferatu in the house, and now we have another possession with him in the house. Like build on it. This movie doesn't build on itself. It just gives you new things every
broken
10
up
minutes.
things.
Yeah.
And then obviously talking about the ending, I think again, it's an amazing shot. It really is. I don't want to downplay it. The big money shot of the movie is she essentially sacrifices herself, and she sort of Nosferatu's Nosferatu by luring him to her. Yeah. And even though time's running out, she makes him stay. Yeah. And she endures more of like the biting and the pain so that the sun rises. Yeah. And that shot is absolutely outstanding. When the sun comes through and you see him in the broad of the day, and he's burning and he's in agony, and he's got, there's this like sadness in his face of like, I've been like, he knows he's like been defeated.
Does he know he's been played, or did he know? Like, is he like?
That's what I saw.
Okay. Yeah.
But he just kind of dies this like sad, pathetic death, and you see him kind of shriveled up. Like that was all great. Yeah. I had no issue with that at all.
Beauty and the Beast almost.
Yeah. It's this beautiful shot, and then they come in. The timing of them popping in, like the second it was all done, was a bit weird.
How long did it take him to get there from the castle?
Dude. And then you get a little, it was beauty killed the beast, and then it just ends. But yeah, that one shot, it's like there's some visual effects, there's some prosthetics, and it looks incredible. Yeah. And when you see his dead corpse on top of her, I thought that was also a really good shot. But at that point, I was just like, please don't let there be like a little after scene.
I was like...
But we got the long fade to black, and it was done.
Yeah.
So overall, like, yeah, I think I'm sitting somewhere around a 6, maybe even a 5.5, which is really disappointing.
Yeah, like we said, like, gosh, it's
I'd never watch this again. I would never watch it again. And yeah.
It was also, it wasn't in black and white.
There was like random black and white scenes.
I thought,
but maybe, I couldn't figure out the. I thought
maybe like it whenever it was a dream sequence or he was terrorizing your dreams, it would go black and white.
Then
but
it would fuck with you.
No, that wasn't true.
It was just like, what are we feeling today? And like I thought all the scenes he was in were black and white.
Yeah, because the first one when he gets to the castle turns black and white. I was like, okay, I like this.
Yeah, but then you see him in color.
The fire's in color. What's going on here?
Yeah, that was crazy bizarre. The color of the black and white juxtaposition totally missed for me. Stick to one, stick to the other, have rules. You can't just choose which scene's going to look better in color and which is going to look better in black and white.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a pattern if you really look into it, but I don't think it should be that hard to figure out.
Think we'll get like costume, makeup nominations.
Yeah, I could
probably.
I did think the score was good. Yeah, I could see like sound design, sound mixing. Maybe
think Willem Dafoe kind of like a supporting little nod to him.
I think if anyone did, it would be Bill, just because of the.
Yeah. I thought Bill was good. I
thought he was good. Don't get me wrong. It's just like the accent was like a little bit off for me. It was little too campy.
That's fair.
Because then it sort of was veering into Lighthouse territory of like, oh, this is kind of absurd. It's kind of a dark comedy. But this wasn't supposed to be a dark comedy. This is supposed to be
but actually,
a chilling
one of the people we were
horror
seeing
experience.
with, she just said that like her expectation for this movie was like a campy horror,
Right.
and if you go in with that expectation, you could definitely have that experience of it.
The
being
movie
a
takes
campy
itself.
horror.
It takes itself too seriously.
There's some silly moments, man, where they're like Nicholas
Schnaps.
Holt's walking with a limp and stuff.
Yeah, and his little weird running close up where he was just
some of ATJ's lines like, "I will not have that in my house."
Yeah.
It's like, all right, settle down.
Or he's like, "You've always been a horny devil" or whatever. He's like, that was good. And when he was like crying and grieving, that was good acting.
All right, you like ATJ? We get it. All right, we'll get the Broccoli family on the call.
Yeah, but that's how I feel about this. I am disappointed. I'm not gonna shirk away from that.
Yep.
But it wasn't awful by any means, and I'm still keeping my eye on this filmmaker. And I think this movie's gonna make some money, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he can do better, and hopefully,
I agree.
yeah, hopefully we get better on the next one.
Nice. Well,
I'm glad he got to do this though,
Yep.
because this was obviously very important to him. It's a worthy entry in the Dracula lore. You know, if this was the first time this story had ever been told, it would be great. But I think the story is just a bit too generic at this point to just do a.
That's actually a great moment, because you got to remember, like, some of these tropes you see, they're not actual tropes. They are like the birthing of it, right?
Yeah.
Some of this Dracula stuff is like, you have to imagine you've never heard of a vampire, and this is the first time you're experiencing it, right?
It'd be cool.
It would be cool, but yeah, all in all, like, technically great, but story wise, plot wise, just wasn't there for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, we thank you for listening. Actually, before we wrap up, we got about maybe 2-3 minutes here. Just give me, I have mine already.
I haven't thought. You've given me no time to think about this.
I actually got hit with this on the spot a couple days ago, and I have my answer.
Is it you're asking me my top movies of the year?
Just best movie.
Best movie?
You want to hear mine?
No.
Come on, let me hear about it.
I want to say mine first. I'd like to say mine first. I will. I'm struggling a bit. I don't think it's been the strongest year for movies overall. I think last year was better. Go on.
Alien Romulus.
Oh, shit.
I just think, like, obviously it's not going to sweep at the awards, but I just think everything I wanted in a movie exists in that movie. Like, great sci-fi, great action, great tension. I mean, listen to the podcast if you want to hear me glaze about it, but I just think that movie just delivered on all fronts for me.
That's a good shout. That's definitely up there for me. There's still so much I haven't seen, like, from the Oscar category, like Conclave, I know you were saying was good. Is that kind of in with a shout, would you say?
Not for me, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I might even throw Wicked in there.
You see Chris Nolan's was Gladiator 2?
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
He's already starting
He came out, he's like, oh, Ridley somehow did it again.
He's already starting prep for the Odyssey.
Yeah. His highest budget film, apparently, $300 million.
Wow. Dune Part 2?
Good movie, but I preferred Alien Romulus.
All right.
Which a lot of people...
Stop coughing, right? Gosh.
I mean, we were both glazing it when we saw it.
Godzilla Kong, The New Empire.
He didn't even say that just now.
Civil War?
Haven't seen it.
Wow. Furiosa?
I am Furiosa!
Challengers?
It's been a pretty meh year.
Deadpool Wolverine?
No way. That movie kind of blew.
I'm just going through... like, my letterbox is dicey. Let me just go ahead and stop. There's so many shit movies on there.
I know.
Argyle?
Yeah. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare?
Do you want to take a moment and quickly look? Because this is going to be etched in history forever.
Yeah, I do. I haven't heard anything better than Alien Romulus yet. I think I'm going to copy you.
Joker 2.
Haven't seen it.
Me either.
That's crazy to think we both
Long
haven't
Legs?
seen it. Good movie. I preferred Alien Romulus.
Inside Out 2.
I haven't seen it.
Venom. The Apprentice.
Didn't see it. This Nicole Kidman one is going to be...
Baby Girl.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, why don't we just
It ends with us.
Why don't we just put you down for Alien Romulus?
Yeah, Alien Romulus.
All right, it's 2 for Alien Romulus.
Good job, Fede Alvarez.
Yes.
I'm excited to see what he does next.
Me as well.
All right, everyone. It's been a great year. I've had a lot of fun doing the podcast. We'll be back sometime in the new year for sure.
Thanks for listening, as always.
I've been Antony.
And I've been Evan.
Take care.